Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good night, everyone. I'm Raudya Kamila Bilqis from SE21A class. I'm here to present the result of my business scientific paper business English coursework. To shorten the time, let's get started. The title of my research is an analysis of the effectiveness of Google Classroom as a learning media during the COVID-19 pandemic. First, I will explain what is Google Classroom. What is Google Classroom? Google Classroom is a free web service developed by Google for school that aims to simplify creating, distributing, and grading assignments without having to meet face-to-face. So, how to create a Google Classroom? First, you can download the application Google Classroom in some Play Store or iOS. After you download Google Classroom application, you can follow the instructor rule. First, you can click Get Started and select the Google email address you want to use to join Google Classroom. 2, press the plus in the right corner. So 3, there are 2 options. You can namely join class and create the class. You can select create class because for your student. So, young 4, there are 2 choice of roles. First, name teacher or student. You can choose one of them. 5, fill in the class name, section, subject, and room files. And 6, after the class is created, Google Classroom will actually automatically generate class code. You can share this class code with students so they can join the class. 7, in the classwork section, you can upload material, give assignment, or take quiz. 8, to make easier and save time, quiz question do not need to be typed one by one in the question section. Make one file, then upload it, and by clicking add. 9, don't forget to set the maximum score the student can get and the deadline. And 10, you can click aside. And 11, do the same for giving the text in the form of a list of questions. Make one file, then upload it by clicking 8. 12, don't forget to set the maximum score to student can get and deadline. And 13, click X. Then, and last, 14, that's an easy way to create a Google Classroom and use it for the teaching and learning process student. Yes, student. So, next, in the abstract, this research was conducted to determine the effectiveness and influence of learning using Google Classroom, which was felt by students during this COVID-19 pandemic. At this time, the education became one of the areas affected. Many schools had to do distance learning. For the method and materials, In this study, I use a quantitative descriptive research method where the research process was carried out by voting using a Google form survey. So the respondents used were 25 people from the English class of IT Insan Mandiri Junior High School, Sukabumi City. For data collection, began when students follow direction and instruction through Google Classroom, after which student can fill out the Google form. Okay, and for the result of recap survey table above show that 68.5% of participants agree that Google Classroom is useful in terms of its benefits, while the experience of ease of use when using 66.50% of the participants agree that Google Classroom can easily be used. In addition, on the next factor, the participants agree that for learning using Google Classroom, 56.05%, and lastly, of 56.05% of ease of learning, student participant could do it easily. And lastly, for the level of satisfaction with Google Classroom, it results in 53.52% with satisfied result. This result, I have 4 factors. First, usefulness. 2, ease of use. 3, ease of learning, and satisfaction for 4. For conclusion of this research, conclusion obtained from this study with the result of survey conducted, it was charted that some students agree that provided convenience and effectiveness for use during the COVID-19 pandemic, such as recently. However, among the advantages, there are definitely drawbacks to this Google Classroom application, such as an unstable internet network that affects the use of this Google Classroom learning application, which is expected to be better in the future. So I think maybe that's for my presentation. I hope my presentation can be useful for those who watch, and for my research can be useful too. So thank you, and see you again in my presentation. Bye.